And what's up, Doc? Spawning in the lower left corner of the map, we've got the blue Terran VegaBunny.
And his opponent in the yellow. It's something that we've seen a lot today. It's a Zerg. This time, it's Hydra.
I need to find just nail down like a goofy impression. And just like for an entire cast, when I'm doing it with Panda or someone that wouldn't suspect it, just middle of the cast, start, or, just like see if they catch what's going on. Gosh, our Terran player's going for an early barracks.
Well, if you started doing that in the middle of Panda analyzing what a player should do next, I don't think he would notice.
Oh, dude, no, he would reach through the internet and slap my expletive deleted word. But yeah, so TVZ is a really cool matchup on Antigua. There's lots of possibilities, but my favorite thing about this is, like, there was a while where mech was pretty dominant. You know, every player went mech all the time. No question about it, because it's the best thing to do. But when the issue of the, and I'm going to quote when I say this because everyone will hate me, the patch Zergs, air quotes, started to rise, we saw the transition sort of start to fade out, mech not really being so prominent. You know, it's really easy to get roaches since you get that third base so early. And I don't know, we'll see what Bunny chooses to do. I'm really hoping and leaning towards, my fingers crossed, of him doing Marine Tank, because that is a style I quite personally enjoy.
It's a lot of fun, and Antigua definitely opens it up to a lot of bioplay because you can drop from all kinds of different locations. And
Ord, you should have told me, I wasn't paying attention. I believe that was a 10
yeah,
pull? But
yeah,
I mean,
it was.
this is 10 pulling versus Terran. I mean, Bunny, if he catches wind of this in the slightest, will just throw Supply Depot down and not really give a willy-nilly. And, oh, is he going to go for the command center? Is this just going to be complete the wall? No, he's going for the command center! And this could be troublesome.
No.
And the Zerglings are trying to avoid that watchtower, should there be something there, but not going to be the case. And Bunny, man, he doesn't have a bunker. Worker Micro will take care of this, but it's not fun. It's not fun at all. And this is definitely not all in by Hydra by any means, as, oh, we do have the supply depot going down. Excellent. So the worst case scenario, you know, cancel on the command center. Big whoop. And, yeah, Bunny, other depot goes up immediately. But this is why...
He has to cancel.
Yeah, you see a lot of Terrans actually opt to build that command center in base, and a lot of people are kind of like, yeah, well, what's the point? You know, it's this early in the game. What could be coming my way? This, guys, this right here is why you build it in base. Float it down over, so you don't have to worry about this sort of crap. Pardon me. As this is really frustrating to have to deal with, but, you know, Bunny not being phased, yeah, I had to cancel, big deal. Throws down the command center in the main.
Yeah, I'd like that a lot. He didn't overreact. In fact, we may even see him go triple CC, I think, because he's getting so much gas.
Oh man, Panda and I were discussing this recently. There's been this sort of like phase of quintuple CC that is just absurd because you can't break that, and it gives you such stupid economy. But you know, right now, factory come down, reactor as well, a nicely placed bunker too in anticipation. Maybe there'd be some sort of bust to follow this up.
Hydra was able to pop up just high enough there to see that, yes, there's a reactor going down and there's a factory, so he's going to be well aware. And Bunny being a little bit nervous as the continued presence of the Zerglings goes ahead and throws up the bunker just in case. He's got zero information on his opponent, so he's assuming that he expanded, but he doesn't really know that.
Yeah, once Hellions are on the field, he'll have no fear. I mean, even the Speedlings, you can put them on a ramp, Hellions will fry them for breakfast. It's called barbecue for a reason.
Definitely, and there are some Zerglings being hidden here in a little crevice in the lower center portion of the map. Potentially some Baneling harassed later, or maybe just wants to do a Zergling run by. Forward thinking. The bunker's salvaged almost immediately.
So yeah, this is definitely going to turn into Hellion Banshee opening.
Yeah.
Something a little more common in mech play. And I'm curious if this was the strategy all along, or if this was kind of like, oh crap, you know, what the hell. I had my plans foiled a little bit. I'm gonna go punish him with something silly.
I kind of feel like this was because he was not wanting to produce Marines, and he took his gas so early and had 3 in each from the very beginning of the game. So maybe the Hellions are forward on the map. They've killed a few Zerglings, and oh no, here comes that Zergling run by Hellions out of position.
4 slowlings, not really. Sorry, 5 slowlings, still not a big deal. There are 3 marines. Kite these guys all day. Speed's gonna kick in any second, though.
Oh.
For a moment, these marines will do a ton of damage.
Workers.
Not gonna get the third, unfortunately. The third base of Hydra is not up, and these Hellions can't really push too much more forward. There are roaches.
Nicely timed, though. Hydra with just enough roaches to make sure these Hellions don't come in at all. He's going to push back and kind of establish map control. Actually, I feel like these roaches are getting too far ahead right now. Hellions can definitely run around.
Yeah, when you're playing bully against fast units, you got to be careful. And this one Banshee will actually do quite a bit of damage to these roaches.
Slowly but surely.
I mean, these roaches, sure, they can pick off a couple Hellions, but, you know, reactor Hellions are not that big of a loss. It's like picking off Zerglings. Guess what? I'll just make 2 more.
Yeah, and Bunny's got these bunkers, so now the roaches are in just a terrible position. Don't like their lives right now, I'm thinking.
They have been sacrificed, unfortunately. Will they pick up a worker or 2? No. Going for the Hellions.
Oh, gets 1 Hellion.
But again, it's just a Hellion. Now, Cloak is now finished for these Banshees, and I think we're going to see a counterattack come out of Bunny.
Alright. I'm trying to see why that was worth it, and quite possibly it was because he was able to start establishing his third base. He did not allow any Hellions into his base. He kept the Banshees on the other side of the map, but he didn't prepare for Banshees at all. He's just now halfway through creating another Queen. He's halfway to his lair, so these Banshees are going to just run rampant.
Yeah, no Spore Crawlers, no Overseers. Only 1 Spore Crawler coming down right now, but 2 Banshees with Cloak. These Queens are as good as dead. And the roaches are going to get cleaned up as well, and that's super unfortunate because he needs those to bully out the Marines and the Hellions, but that's not going to be the case, Ord. Hellions just don't care.
Spore Crawler is pretty close to getting done, but 2 Queens have already died. Damage has been done.
And the Spore Crawler will not quite get that Banshee, a little unfortunate. But the Hellions are just going to fry these Zerglings, and once the Zerglings are gone, there's nothing to stand between them and the drone Zord.
Yeah, barbecue time. I'm gonna open up that man. 6, 7, 8, 9. They're just dying. 13. Oh, 14.
Third Banshee joining the battle here too. Just kind of zoning out everything that could possibly come from the main.
Oh. Roaches do pop here, and the Hellions, yeah, they're going to be able to get up into the main and get even more kills.
Oh, and the Queen can't quite finish that. The Spore Crawler repositions itself, still not in range of the Banshees, unfortunately. Just barely out of position.
19.
Look at the kills. 13 on this Banshee. 1 Banshee does finally go down. Queen dead as well, though. And now even more drones are going to be picked off. The Spore Crawler denied!
Oh, that was very solid.
But this is beautiful control from Bunny. He's just done such damage to his Zerg opponent. 27 workers have been killed, Ord. There are 3 bases, no Queens, and a lot of dead workers.
Yeah, and the third command center for Bunny was completed during that time. It's on its way down to the third base location, and this is not a position that Zerg likes to be in. Not at all.
Yeah, this is kind of the unfortunate catch. When you go for 10 pool, you don't have the economy to get Mutalisks out. And, I mean, it's been so long, the only opportunity Hydra really would have had to do to abuse the lack of anti-air would have been in the last 5 minutes, but now there's a Thor under construction. 1-1 upgrades are more than halfway done. And whatever follow-up Bunny has, I mean, this is, quite frankly, his game to lose at this point.
Yeah, especially with 30 workers after all that damage to the 60 SCVs and the multiple mules.
Banshee's trying to find a nice position. Spore Crawler uprooting, though, will kind of commit itself to death.
That's not a good choice.
And now this third's forfeit. There is nothing to defend it. Even picking off the drones, nothing will escape the wrath of VegaBunny.
And Hydra's actually sending a Queen down there. I'm not sure.
Hydra's Den and Nidus Worm, though, or this could be his kind of all-in response. Because that Overlord in the base, hiding in the smoke, is only just now being killed.
These Banshees are running. I don't know why.
I'm curious to see what his plans are with this Nidus, because, I mean, he doesn't have units on the field. There are no Roaches. There are no Hydras. He doesn't have a lot of gas banked up.
Hydra's trying to position some of his units so that he can continue to do harassment, but he doesn't have control over the center of the map, and VegaBunny does, so he's able to see all those units.
I mean, this is huge. Ask any Terran player. you retaining these Banshees is the most crazy thing you can do. A lot of players will just lose them and say, ah, forget it, I wasn't planning on going air anyways, but keeping all these Banshees alive will be critical, especially when you need that
Oh,
mobility to hunt the Nidus Worms.
couldn't agree more. And the scan went down there, so he's able to see where the Nidus Network's home is. Interested to see, because he could potentially move in there. There is a Spore Crawler and an Overseer protecting it, but Banshees may be able to find a way.
Well, unfortunately, there's nowhere he can really place that Nidus right now. I mean, not only does he lack units severely, he's got no vision of these bases, or the main's covered
Yep.
entirely in supply depots.
Finally, there is an Overlord moving down from kind of the fourth base location on the right side of the map, and it's going to try to position itself eventually at the third base.
Okay, so
Oh,
Nidus pops in the middle of the map, I guess just trying to use this as a reinforcement leg up. But I don't know that I agree with this, because look how few units came out of the Nidus Worm. I mean, this is... Hydras are not that great, they're not that durable, their DPS is high as hell, sure, but, I mean, they get killed rather fast.
and Bunny sees now where it is. He was looking
He's got to
around.
be like, why is there a Nidus Worm there? There's no reason for there to be a Nidus Worm there, but he
He
is
doesn't
moving out
care
to
at
kill it.
all. He
Look how many
immediately scanned
Hellions.
that.
And these are all blue flame too, so I mean, one volley will fry all of those Hydras.
Oh, and they get away.
Oh, what a surprise! Retreating them into the Nidus Worm. Good use of that Nidus Worm. Put the units out of position, only to bring them back home. But yeah, I kind of have to say, I think Hydra's a little down and out. There's not really a way for him to recover from this, and I can't even see Bunny messing this up. This is one of the situations where you just you walk hey cat, press A and left click for me. I'm good to go. You know.
It's very true. And Hydra, I mean, I like the way that he tried to get back into this. He was like, all right, well, I'm so far behind. Maybe a Nidus will work out. He's got a lot of Banshees. Hydras are good against them, but just too much. This
Point defense drone ord. Actually goes for a Seeker missile. Lands on a couple of the Roaches.
Yeah, some decent roach splitting there, but just so much mech for VegaBunny, who's at 196 supply there at the end of the game versus the 47. GG.